Hey guys, welcome back. The plugin we are now looking to use is ScholarAI. I've installed this plugin and this plugin is enabled for us. So before we get started with it, let's learn what this plugin can do. So if you are a researcher, this plugin is really useful for you. You can search 40 million plus peer-reviewed papers, scientific PDFs, and save them to reference. So basically, ScholarAI is a tool that can be used to access open access scientific literature from peer-reviewed journals. So it has several features that can be used to find and manage scientific literature. So what you can do is search for abstracts. So you can search for a paper abstracts by providing the keywords for your topic of interest. The tool will return a list of relevant papers. You can also specify and sort the results whether to only return peer-reviewed articles and the range of publication years. So let's basically say search for recent papers on quantum computing or any topic that is of interest to you. So this is just for demoing. I'm picking one prompt and all these prompts are available to you. You can use whichever you want. So as you can see, it is giving us a list of research papers on quantum and the keywords sort, which is publication date, and query. So we only provided the topic, rest two are default parameters. You can look into more detail on if you need some custom parameters to override it, but this is what you would get. And similarly, you can do the other queries. So the next one is get full text. So if you are interested in a particular paper and you want to retrieve the full text of the paper, you have to provide the URL for the PDF format of the paper and you can specify the chunk of the paper to retrieve. So here, let's assume that can I retrieve the paper with the URL? So this is basically the Google Lambda model, which is their LLM similar to ChatGPT. So what I'm asking our paper to do is, can you retrieve, I'll just copy this here and I would type it. And instead of this URL, I will just copy paste this paper and you can see how it will summarize this text for us. So the entire paper would be summarized for us. And you can do multiple stuff too. You can get entire paper. Can you get it for me? If you are trying to get 2 or more papers and try to compare them, it can do it for you. So these are some of the example prompts, what it's going to be useful for you. And the next one, before I get into that, you need something called Zotero. So if you find a paper and you want to reference it later, you can save citation to your paper reference manager. You will need to provide Digital Object Identifier of the article, your Zotero User ID and API Key. So in the after completing this, we are going to create this account and see how to use it. But before that, let's see that it is able to generate this. Okay, so it is able to retrieve paper for us. So if you work in a company or if you are an academic researcher, this is really helpful for you. I remember when I filed my first patent, you had to go through, read all the papers and figure out whatever you are writing is right or wrong. So you had to do a lot of work yourself. With this, now basically it makes your life a lot easier. You don't have to search everything. You can do keyword search and do it better. So let's get to Zotero and come back to this later on. Hey guys, we are looking at how to create an account for Zotero. So you can either do it as a desktop app or you can do it in this web directly. So what you now need is you can register a free account. We will be using it to save citations for our research. So we do need it. So let's assume that, let me call it, okay. So I gave this, it exists. So I gave my email. So I'm done with my password. So once I'm done, I just need to create register. So it is done. So let me go to my Gmail and I need to validate this account, you can do that. So I went to Zotero. Here's the one. So you can just go and clean it. Okay. So my account is over. Account is created. So open Zotero from your dock, launcher or file system. Open the sync of Zotero, enter your username and password, and you are all set to get started here. So if I come back here and let me go log into my Zotero, you have to download this. So you can install Chrome connector, connects this one, or you can do the desktop one. It is totally up to you. Let's try both. So I'm just installing this. Cool. So it takes a couple of minutes for this to be done. And the desktop app, let me start installing this. Yeah, you can just continue install it. Similarly, what I'm doing for Windows, I think you have to follow the same process for Mac. And if you come back here, see, I've already logged in. So my profile is there. So one thing, as we looked at the previous one, we do need our Zotero key, right? So I will get my Zotero key, and you guys have to get your Zotero key too. And once that is done, I can't share my Zotero key on the screen, so you can just follow through that. But this is the stuff you need to do if you have to do the citation. If you don't want to bookmark citation for everything you are doing, you can as well as skip this video. If you go to Zotero or settings, keys and new, you can create a key here. I created a temporary key and I will be using it to create it, and I'll revoke it as soon as I'm done. But I'm just showing you guys how to create it, how to create an account with Zotero. And basically I am giving this prompt as input here, wherein I have a paper already and I want to give my Zotero ID, and I tried a couple of times, but Zotero server seems to be down and it didn't pick this up. So let me try that again and see if I'm able to do that. So let's see if it works. So it looks like there is some problem with Zotero server, but this is how you would do it as per their own explanation here. So yeah, so if I go into my profile here and library, this is what I should see this link showing up here as per Zotero, but since server seems to be down, it is not able to connect this citation. So that's all I wanted to cover, and probably when server is up, you can try this. This should work for you. I would be deleting my API key. I hope this helps.